As Alexander led his mother towards Dock 3, her legs felt so weak she could hardly place one foot in front of the other. Even if she had considered changing her mind at the last moment, she now realized they had no choice but to try and escape. The alternative didn't bear thinking about. She kept her eyes on the two idle cranes that Boris had said would be their signpost. And as they drew nearer, they saw a lone figure step out from behind two large wooden crates by the entrance of a deserted warehouse. "What kept you?" Boris demanded anxiously, his eyes darting in every direction like a cornered animal. "We came as quickly as we could," said Elena, without explanation. Alexander stared down into the crates to see half a dozen cases of vodka neatly stacked. The agreed tariff for a one-way trip to... "All you have to do now," said Boris, "is decide whether you want to go to America or England." "Why don't we let fate decide?" said Alexander. He took a 5 copial corn from his pocket, balanced it on the end of his thumb. "Heads America, tails England," he said, and flipped it high into the air. The coin bounced on the dockside before coming to a rest at his feet. Alexander bent down and looked at the image for a moment, then picked up his mother's suitcase and his lunchbox and put them in the bottom of the chosen crate. Elena then climbed inside and waited for her son to join her. They crouched down and clung on to each other as Boris placed the lid firmly back on the top of the crate. Although it only took him a few moments to hammer a dozen nails into the lid, Elena was already listening for another sound. The sound of heavy boots heading towards them, the lid of the crate being ripped off, and the two of them being dragged out to face a triumphant Major Polyakov. Boris tapped the side of the crate with the palm of his hand, and suddenly they felt themselves being yanked off the ground. The crate swung gently from side to side as they were lifted higher and higher into the air before it began to slow descent towards the hold of one of the ships. Then, without warning, the crate landed with a thud. Elena could only wonder if they would spend the rest of their lives regretting climbing in to the wrong crate.